Hi guys, thanks for watching. Right, time to do a reading for Gemini. We'll do a 3-card spread for Gemini and we'll get some significance as well from the Oracle cards as we go along. So I'm shuffling now and I'm asking for a 3-card reading please for the sign of Gemini. I'm doing this in kind of mid-July 2019, but the best time to watch these videos, guys, is whenever you're drawn to them. So I hope you're enjoying it, whether you're watching it now or in the future or whenever. We are just about stepping into Mercury retrograde at the moment, so nothing is what it seems. There may be stuck energy and it may be remarkably easy to get it unstuck, or, you know, vice versa. It can go either way. So what is the first card, please, in this reading for the sign of Gemini? And it is the 2 of Pentacles. And gosh, picks up on that Mercury retrograde thing. I think my guide was speaking to me there as I spoke those words myself. The Hatter here is trying to control the 2 Pentacles, and as far as we can see, he's succeeding. He hasn't actually got a tight grip on them in any sense. They're completely loose and out of hand, if you know what I mean. But they're not away from him. He's kind of there ready to be able to catch them. I suspect he's actually juggling them as well. Now, the sky is a very kind of, it's a nice healing kind of purple. So there's, you know, well, there's always healing there when there's trouble. But it looks like a slightly troublesome sky to say, well, maybe quite a seriously troublesome sky. Because the clouds are as slanted as they are. But somehow he is managing to hang on to the Pentacles, and the outcome of the story is that he does actually manage to hang on to them. So Pentacles, it's Earth sign energy, guys. It's Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo, someone like that around you. This being fluid energy, because it's different strokes for different folks, that could mean, excuse me, a lot of different things. But the most important interpretation of any of these readings, guys, is the one that you put on them yourself. So we've got the Hatter here, struggling but somehow managing to keep hold of things. Oh dear, I've gone really hoarse. Excuse me a second. Let's just have a quick drink of tea. The reason for needing to hang on so tight is that really nothing is what it seems, and what is proving difficult and quarrelsome and irksome and difficult at the moment is likely to ease up in the weeks ahead of us. This is just rather a tricky time because Mercury retrograde plays into communication between people so much. On the main kind of side of this particular Mercury retrograde that we're going through in July 2019 is that it's in Leo, and it's a bit of a giant killing alignment. Last time we had an alignment like this, Bill Gates and Microsoft nearly lost all their monopoly. It's that kind of thing. Hopefully a little bit gentler at the ordinary sort of everyday life level, but different for everyone. So tell us more, please, about the 2 of Pentacles in this reading for the sign of Gemini. Tell us more, please, about the 2 of Pentacles. And we have the Tortoise. Right, this kind of makes sense. It always makes sense, otherwise why do it? Right, Tortoise, you're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. And the way to really get off the ground in any way and really make anything happen in a big way. So the sun is kind of, it's really nice having the sun shining there, but it just means the card is unreadable. What does it say again? You're too fragmented, so do whatever it takes to get grounded. Now maybe you're too fragmented, as I am in this case, because of the sunlight getting in the way. That's kind of no bad thing. I would hate it if the sun suddenly decided not to shine. It's just not convenient right this moment. So, you know, as you count your blessings, Gemini, are there just kind of so many blessings at the moment that it's difficult to keep up, and then it becomes a worry that actually we'll lose track of all those things? Difficult. But the Mad Hatter here doesn't lose track of these. That's not the nature of the story. It's the Pentacles, so it brings together the earth signs as well as air, water and fire signs, all together under the auspices of the divine. That is really the meaning of the Pentacles. Looks like money involved here as well. It's really is, well, isn't that just typical of modern life as it is at the moment, having to juggle our finances all the time? Really, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, really. That is what life has become a great deal of the time. But it's up to us to have it so it's not just an existence, and to keep trying to juggle, because sooner or later things are going to ease up. They're bound to. It's just the nature of life, the universe and everything. Life is change, you know. If life wasn't change, it wouldn't be life. You just think about it, every day we live, even if, supposing you're a bit ill today and you can't go out of the house at all, something will have happened, something will have brought a change along into life, because every new day does somehow. Okay, so the next card in this spread for Gemini is the Ace of Swords. Right, this is powerful here now. It's air sign energy, it's Libra, it's Aquarius, and of course it's you too, Gemini. So the potential there is very, very powerful because it's an ace, and because it's swords, it means that something's got to be possibly thought through. More likely a decision, a sweeping decision needs to be made. And when it's the Ace of Swords, sometimes it's a question of thinking the unthinkable, which we all need to do from time to time, because life keeps changing in ways that we simply don't expect ever, and makes it very difficult to actually keep going and just, actually have a plan and stick to it and see it through all the way. It becomes really hard to do that because it's always going to keep changing. It's just the nature of life at the moment. Personally, I don't think human beings are exactly cut out for it. On the other hand, it's the way we've made it. Or is it? Who knows? But a great deal of possible magic there with the Ace of Pentacles. Huge amount of positivity there, and things waiting in the wings. I say possible magic, because magic is always possible, really. But it remains as potential until we choose to do something about it. But there's alchemy there. There really is. And the swords are just about kind of coming to the point, I suppose. It's, the pun is actually intended there. It's about coming to the point, isn't it? The Ace of Swords. So tell us more about the Ace of Swords in this reading for Gemini, please. Tell us a little more about the Ace of Swords in this reading for Gemini. And we have Polar Bear. Stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. This is how it needs to be. Right, now this is what's going to be where the problem could be in terms of making the decision and actually being decisive. Because I feel this decision now, as I'm looking at it, this decision has already made itself. Sometimes you just know you've got to go a particular way and you're still thinking, what about this, what about that? But in reality, when it comes down to it, you just know that this and that are somehow not what you're doing at the moment, not where your path is taking you. You've got to think seriously about that. We don't want to be leaving people in the lurch. Possibly we're going to have to come back to the situation that we're in now at some point. And, it's no good kind of doing a Homer Simpson and saying, so long, suckers, and driving off, because as always happened to him, you only have to go back and make up for it. So Polar Bear, stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to outcome. That's one I find really difficult, Gemini. Mind you, I'm a Sagittarius, so, don't worry about me saying that. But I find that really difficult. We're always looking for an outcome, aren't we? What is the story of life if there isn't an outcome every now and again? But I know that whenever I've just kind of gone with the flow and plans haven't gone the way I thought they would, somehow something's worked out. I can remember being out walking in North Wales many years ago. I was in the RAF, and I was just walking miles and miles because my car had broken down. And this guy stopped in a van and gave me a lift, and he had a mobile disco, and I ended up working on his mobile disco, and it became a really great job. Just a happenstance thing of being out there. And the point is, I was being myself, I was actually, in that way, I was in my own power. It's not really a powerful memory when I think back to it. And I wasn't a particularly powerful person, but I was in the power of what I was meant to be, So this is why you've got to stand up for yourself, as the Polar Bear says here, and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately, because we do want, to make the best possible, but at the same time detach from the outcome. Just see how it goes, because there's a great deal of magic involved. We've got the Ace of Swords there, actually in your sign, actually at the heart of the reading there. A massive amount of power. And the Two of Pentacles, well, it's a juggling act, but it's a very worthwhile juggling act. You just think about that. Couldn't be much more worthwhile when you think about it. Worthwhile in what direction, I wonder? Let's ask for the third card in this spread for the sign of Gemini, which I am doing mid-July 2019. And that card is the Empress. And she's also come out with a sheep shopkeeper. Two at once there, two for the price of one. Why ever not? I mean, if they've come out, I think we've got to read them. Okay, I actually saw the Queen of Pentacles first, so I'll show that one first. But she was actually behind this one as they came out. So we've got the Empress here, and Alice is helping the Empress. The Empress is very good at... how can I put it? Storing up abundance, kind of making the most of life and being able to kind of store riches away so that there's abundance further down the line. So here's a reminder, Gemini, that on the journey, in terms of being decisive, in terms of keeping up with life's balancing act and everything it's throwing at you, you've probably stored up enough inside yourself somewhere to be able to deal with it. There'll be nothing being thrown at you, Gemini, that you can't handle. It'll seem like you can't handle it at times maybe, but you can, because look who is helping the Empress here. It's Alice herself, who is still a very young girl, very inexperienced at this, but the Empress couldn't really get very far without Alice there, could she? So, you never know where the help is going to come from. You just never do. But we've got Major Arcana there. That is close around you, Gemini. And it's number 3 as well. So we're into the journey. We're making progress. But it's a fairly new journey. Still, in the space of that spread, we have gone from 2 of Pentacles to 3, the Empress. So we've got a nice sort of numerological progression there. Not least because at the same time the Queen of Pentacles came out there. And the Pentacles, again, Earth sign energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, someone like that around you, very probably holds the key to actually making the progress that you seek to make at the moment, Gemini. Someone could be quite powerful in that respect and might not seem all that powerful to you, because with this character in this card in particular, you have to reach out and take what you want. She kind of presides over it and you have to ask her first, but you're the one who has to reach out and get it. So, reach out and grab it. It's there for the taking. And looks like you wouldn't have to reach too far, actually, but they are going to keep trying to bounce around. Isn't that just the way of things? Right. So let's do a shuffle and say, tell us more about those two, please. Tell us more about the number 3, the Empress, and the Queen of Pentacles in this reading for the sign of Gemini. Tell us more, please, about the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. And we have the domestic cat, or the cat brackets domestic, as it's depicted here. It's time to strike out on your own and relinquish your over-dependency on others. Really, right. So, in terms of taking what's rightfully yours, you may be looking at trying to wrestle control from someone who's having a very controlling influence over you, Gemini. That is often the way of it. Now I'm seeing Alice and the Empress here in a very different light. This is almost like Alice holding the Empress back, when what she should do is make the Empress sort herself out, because then all the Empress's abundance would be a lot more use to her if she was actually able to kind of have that much more control over her life and her surroundings. And she could do with reaching out and grabbing what's rightfully hers, because it is there for her. So, strike out on your own. Relinquish your over-dependency on others. What I'm saying is what I nearly always say, and this is what the tarot, this is what the spiritual path and the general journey through life is always teaching us. Be ourselves, okay? So be yourself, Gemini. I'm saying it again. In terms of love and romance, you do not want to be with someone who doesn't go very well with the kind of person you are, or at least won't fit in on your journey somehow. Be realistic about that, because the last thing we want to be doing is finding ourselves stuck in a relationship that goes nowhere and does nothing. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Peace. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Give me a subscribe too, if you wouldn't mind. Tap that bell so you don't miss anything. I'll be back really soon. Bye.